And just like that, we are live. What is up, everybody? Actually, I'm not live over here. Let me push the button. Bam. Now we're live up here. So we're live everywhere. What is happening, everybody? I hope you are doing well. Happy Thursday. Today is Think About It Thursday. So my name is Justin Glover. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm going to be teaching you why getting organized usually hasn't worked. All right, this session is going to be tremendously beneficial to those of you who want some more organization in your life, or maybe you need it. This will be beneficial. It's also going to be beneficial if you've ever tried to get organized, but you failed, or you succeeded, but now you're no longer organized. You failed to stay organized. This is going to be beneficial. Also, it's going to be beneficial for anybody who is like their wardrobe, their shirt collection is lacking, and you'd like to win a free T-shirt, because I'm going to give away one of these today as well. It says the dream is free, the results are sold separately, and so that's going to come here in just a little bit. So thanks for those of you popping on. As you come on, give me a hashtag live. Let me know that you're here, where you're tuning in from, what's some good news today, and we're going to have some fun. All right, let me set my timer just to make sure I'm aware of how long I'm going, because I can't see the little thing. And so before we actually dive in and get started, I want to give you a super quick update about the 8-figure business mind map webinar. It's happening tonight because you requested it. I'm telling you about it. And so 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight, that's when it's going down. Lots of people registered already. So show up a few minutes early if you are registered, or if you decide to register. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then I'll briefly tell you right quick. All right, if you're registered, then this is just your reminder. Set your alarm. Make sure you show up a few minutes early, because we're going to be kicking off right at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. And if you're late, you're going to miss an important step that will actually make it far easier for you to win the giveaway, some of the prizes that we're giving away at the end of the training, which is cash. We got board games, we got T-shirts, we got all kinds of stuff that we're giving away. And so if you haven't registered yet, you can go to justinglover.online/webinar. That will be the link to get you registered. You can go and do that now, because what you're going to learn tonight, it will literally show you how to literally make millions of dollars from the internet, if that is what you want to do. Some of you might hear me say that and you're like, I can't even fathom that. That's way outside of my goal. I'm just looking to make 6 figures. I want to make a 6-figure income for myself. Or some of you might even think that's too unrealistic and you just want to make a couple $1,000s extra each month. Wherever you are, I promise you that we'll show you how to do that. This will be one of the most valuable trainings you've ever been through. If your desire is to go from starting and scaling an online business, all right, if that's your desire, if you want to learn how to make a really good go at starting a business and actually scaling it, growing it on the internet, then I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to get tremendous value. So I was literally running projections yesterday for just one, what we call an arm of our business. And I'll talk about this tonight, but I was running projections and I got so freaking excited, because I figured out that arm of our business is probably going to crank in 6 figures by about 4 months into like rolling out. And I didn't think it was possible to do it that fast with this particular business, but it is. Now I've shot a little 4-minute, or I'm sorry, it's not 4 minutes, it's 7 minutes. And then there's a little song on the end of it. It's a primer video for those of you that might be interested in what to expect on the live webinar and what we're going to be talking about. I walk through the whole agenda. And so if you're curious, maybe on the fence, go to justinglover.online/agenda. So justinglover.online/agenda. That'll redirect you over to that little quick primer video. You can kind of get a feel for what we're going to be talking about tonight. And if you vibe with it, you can go on from there and register for the webinar. All right, so welcome to those of you that are popped on. Let's give some stuff away as you come on. If you haven't done so yet, even if you're catching the replay, drop me a comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from and what your good news is for today. Something positive. Let's fill the comments up with some positivity before we dive in. If you are catching the replay, let me know. Drop me a hashtag replay in the comments. I love seeing your comments and knowing that you were here also. I'll start with my good news. So my good news is, I got lots of good news going on today. Today's been an awesome morning. Lots of people are reaching out. Lots of people are registered for the webinar. I'm super excited to share that with the world, and I'm really, really sore, but I love it. Oh, I can barely, I'm probably not gonna be able to lift my arms tomorrow. I'm on week 8, the very last week of an 8-week program called Lift 4. And this is the next to last exercise. Tomorrow is my final exercise and I'll be done with the program. And then I'm gonna do it all over again. But man, I'm sore today and I love it. It feels good though. All right, so let's do some shout outs and see who's here. I'll give some t-shirts away from yesterday. So Cindy, I see you, welcome, good morning to you. Wayne Davis, I see you here, hello, hello. Dean is in the house. Good morning, Dean. Good to have you. Jeff is here. What's up, partner? Let's see. Margaret is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Rhonda is here as well. So let's do this. Let's go. Let's go. Thanks for those of you tuning in. I truly appreciate it. So let's give away a couple of shirts from yesterday. I said I was going to give away 3, but I lied. I'm actually giving away 4. 4 of you won t-shirts yesterday. Because you followed the 3 super simple action steps. And so congratulations to Russ Mayo, Tom Hudson, Jeff Doe, and Sam McEwen. So here is again what the t-shirt looks like, and we're running low on these. We still got some, but we're running a little bit low. So this is what it says. The dream is free. The results are sold separately. This is what the t-shirt looks like. It will be shipped out to you probably tomorrow. And so congrats to you guys. Thanks again for tuning into my live. Thanks, congrats for winning the shirt. That contest from yesterday, it's now expired. But if you've not won a t-shirt yet, you're like, I want one of those things. Here is your chance right now. I'm gonna give away another, at least 3 more shirts. Well, actually at least 1 more shirt, up to 3 more shirts today for people that engage with this live. And so there's 3 steps. Here's what you got to do. Step 1, watch this video in its entirety. I'm going to blaze through this. It's going to be quick, but watch it in its entirety. Step 2, comment with your top takeaway. What's something that you got from it? I don't put this stuff out for you to get it and be entertained for just a couple of minutes and then let the valuable information in one ear and out the other and not benefit from it in your life. I do this because I want you to process it. I want you to grasp it. I want you to embody it and embrace it and get the benefit of it. And so we're talking about getting organized. And so I want you to watch this and comment your top takeaway or your top insight from the information that I'm going to walk through. And then step number 3, send me a direct message and say, I commented my takeaway. I'd like a shirt, please. You do those 3 steps, watch the video, comment your top takeaway, send me a message and say, give me a shirt, I'll send you a shirt. All right. And so there you go. There you go. Congrats to yesterday's winners. Let's get into the content because I know some of you are ready to go. So what's up, Steven Morales? How are you, man? I haven't seen you in, it's been years. I hope you're doing amazing. Anthony is in the house. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you here as well, buddy. So let's get into this. Talk about why getting organized usually hasn't worked. Now, I'm pulling today, I'm reading this book, rereading, and I've read it a couple of times actually. It's called Ready for Anything, 52 Productivity Principles for Getting Things Done. It's by David Allen. He also wrote the book called Getting Things Done. And so I'll reference that throughout. But that's where I'm pulling this, where I learned this from. And so I just want to get into this a little bit because there's an important foundation before we talk about why getting organized usually hasn't worked. All right. You got to understand that stress, it actually comes from agreements with ourselves. All right. You can relieve that from, actually, let me clarify. Stress comes from unkept agreements with ourselves. All right. Now we can relieve that stress by canceling the agreement or keeping the agreement or renegotiating the agreement. Those are the 3 ways that you can relieve the stress. Those are the only 3 ways. But you can't renegotiate agreements with yourself that you forgot that you made. Did you catch that? You cannot renegotiate agreements with yourself that you forgot that you made. This is where so much unnecessary stress comes into play in most people's lives. Because psychic RAM, psychic energy, he calls it psychic RAM, just like in a computer, our mind, our existence has this psychic energy RAM that we're putting energy and effort into somewhere. And if we have unnecessary stress, it's taking part of that RAM to be there, all right? And it's making us more ineffective, all right? Less effective, less productive when we're using that RAM, and it's being just kind of draining out in other places. And so it's good to, number one, be aware of that. But because that psychic RAM, it has no sense of past, it has no sense of future, things that we file there, they end up pushing on you to be done all the time. Even if we've forgotten them, we've got them, we've got them in our mind somewhere, even if they're not forefront of the mind and we're consciously thinking about them, they're there, they're taking up space, and they're causing us to be less effective, all right? They must be made conscious and kept. When you remember what your agreements are with yourself, you bring them conscious, and you keep them, or you get rid of them. You renegotiate them, all right? So that's the foundation that I want to go into this with. And so here's why getting organized usually hasn't worked anyway. All right, so in the book, he talks about one of the, he calls it a BFO, a blind flash of obvious. That's kind of how he refers to it. But here's kind of his realization that he talks about, is that many people, they're allergic to getting organized because they've experienced a constant lack of success using to-do lists. All right, how many of you use to-do lists? Let me know in the comments if you use to-do lists. I have a to-do list literally right here on my board. I do use to-do lists. I don't use them how most people use them. He recommends not using them how most people use them. And so I want to tell you why they haven't worked, if they haven't worked for you. It's because a to-do list is nothing more than an attempt to compress very different and discrete functions into one event in context. That's what a to-do list is, all right? So if you try to make something simple, you actually make it more complicated, all right? It will make everything seem more complicated. It'll make everything seem more difficult. And so, yes, we've all been, had those places where we've been up against the wall. We got way too many things just screaming at us in our head that we got to get done. And we get that temporary feeling of relief by making a to-do list, right? You've experienced this. However, we're going next level. We're going kind of to-do list mastery here, right? Because a to-do list is just a Band-Aid, and it does not work as an ongoing strategy to keep your mind and your psychic RAM kind of corralled in and in check. And so when most people, think about this, when most people sit down to write a list, what they're doing is they're actually trying to combine all 5 of the phases that David Allen actually defines in his first book, not this one, he talks about them in here, but his first book is called Getting Things Done. And he outlines in that book 5 phases for mastering workflow. All right, I'm going to give them to you briefly here, but I'm not going to go into them. You can check out his book, Getting Things Done. But here's the 5 phases: collect, process, organize, review, and do. All right, those are the 5 phases that he talks about in his book. And so what a to-do list is trying to do all of those things in one activity. Okay, that's essentially what it's doing. So they're simultaneously, when you make a to-do list, you're attempting to grab things out of your mind, decide what they mean, arrange them in some logical or meaningful fashion, and jump immediately to an evaluation of each against each other. What's priority, right? That's what happens when we make a to-do list. And then on top of that, we're trying to choose the most important thing to do right now. What do I put at the top of the to-do list, all right? People who do this, they're usually rewarded. You probably experienced this with a short-term payoff of your confusion is relieved a little bit, all right? You don't feel as confused because it's all out in front of you now, but you're left with just this gnawing vulnerability of what's uncaptured, what's unprocessed, what's unorganized, what's unseen, what's underestimated, all right? That is what you're left with. And so in the book, he talks about, what's up, Sarah? Good to see you here as well. In the book, he talks about how over many years, of research and coaching, they discovered that the phases aspects, workflow management, they're best if you do them as separate activities, all right? Not combine them all together like making a to-do list, all right? Segment them, chunk them up, do them separately, all right? Again, collect, process, organize, review, and do. Those are the 5 phases. And so you need to collect everything in your mind first, how little or how big it is, it doesn't matter. Collect it, that's step 1. All right, then you need to assess each individual particle of that inventory and ask, is this actionable? Okay, is this actionable? And if so, what's the outcome? What's the next action for this thing? All right, then you can organize all of the results of that thinking, going through that checklist, and you can organize it into appropriate categories. At this point, you can clearly review all of your options on what to do, what you got on the plate, and you can make the best choices, all right? Given all the criteria for reaching those decisions, all right, you can factor all that stuff in, so time, your energy, the context, your priorities, you can factor all of that stuff in and make a better decision as far as what I need to be doing right now, all right? That is what brings organization into your life. It's not the making of the to-do list. It gives you temporary relief, but it's surface level and it's amateur in terms of like the mastery scale here in getting productive. And so I'm going to give you an action step. If you want to be somebody who not only hears this information, but actually benefits from it, then I'm going to give you an action step. Take 5 minutes, 5. I'm holding up 10 fingers, but that's in case you can't see this hand. There's 5 on this one, 5 minutes. Doesn't take long, all right? Take 5 minutes and something you can write with fast. So pick up your pen. You can even type this out if you want and dump everything that pops into your head. Don't analyze it. Don't organize it. You can do that stuff later on. Later on, you can figure out what, if anything, it means. For now, you're just doing a brain dump. All right, that's your action step. Very, very simple. Give yourself the freedom to do only one thing at a time. This is a different approach to organization. And if you take this approach, your life will shift drastically, I promise you. And so try this approach out. Try this approach out, it'll work. So when you're ready, so once you do that and you just dump everything, then you can come back when you're ready to be an executive, right? We all have to have that executive role in our life and decide, you know, we come back to these things and we make decisions about what they mean and what we're going to do, what we're going to commit to or not commit to, and what we're going to do about them, if we're going to do anything, right? That's the executive decisions that we make. Then later, we can come back again. We can show up as a manager. We can take that manager role, and this is where we make the tactical decisions about which thing to do out of all of my options at that particular time and place, okay? So as you're living life, I got a few moments popped up. Now, what makes the most sense for me to do? All right, now, each of these little phases, they're a big job. They can be a big job, and they require unique energies and unique perspectives. And so whenever you get them confused whenever you try to shove them all together and just clean up your organization and clear out your mental RAM with just by making a to-do list. You actually make things more difficult on yourself long term. And so a couple of questions to ask for yourself. Again, some kind of takeaway questions. Those of you that want a t-shirt, this will help you with some takeaways maybe. So when did you last complete a complete core dump out of your head? When did you do that last? If it's been a while, I suggest taking today's action step. Go ahead and do it. Doesn't have to take you a long time. Also, next question, do you have any to-dos that you're avoiding looking at? Do you have stuff on your to-do list that maybe you made that you're just like, you keep moving it back, or you avoid looking at it altogether, right? That's you. You might want to rewatch this, and you might want to follow the instructions here and re-listen to what I said, because this stuff alleviates all of that. It makes your life way less miserable. All right. Next question. If you didn't need to worry about things that you haven't done, how would you be? If you were not worrying, if there was zero need to worry about things that you haven't done, you know how much time we actually spend worrying about things that we haven't done? If you could eliminate that forever, what type of person would you be? Would you be more cheerful? Would you be able to spend a little bit more time and be present more? If you're not constantly constantly thinking about the stuff that's undone in your head. You got to get there, and there's a way to get here. You follow the steps that I outlined. All right, and so remember, here's my takeaway, or my closing kind of point that I want to make here, and that is you can only feel good about what you're not doing when you know what it is that you're not doing. If it's unknown, you can't feel good about the goods. Even the stuff that you know you're doing, you can have a day where you mark 19 things off your list, but if there's still worry about undone stuff, you can't even feel good about the 19 things that you marked off. You're still worried about the other stuff. So you can only feel good about what you're not doing when you know what it is that you're not doing. And so there you go. I hope you found this session helpful. If you did, let me know. Let me know. Drop me a comment. Let me know. And if you know somebody else that might find this helpful also, if anybody pops into mind, tag them. Tag them up in the comment. I would appreciate it. That way they can get some of this goodness as well. And since today's theme is all about kind of organization and productivity, there is one thing that you can do in business. I know some of you have businesses or are interested in business at some level. And there's one thing that you can do in business to be more productive from a marketing standpoint, all right, from a marketing standpoint, and that is make more live videos. I know some business owners they're leery about making live videos, but if you do, your marketing will become more effective. You will be more productive. You will have more leads. You'll make more sales. It's just live videos cannot hardly be beat in the world of online marketing, at least. And so at least put out more content. All right, if you're not going to take that suggestion, at least put out more consistent content. It can be written. Written works well also. All right. And so here's the deal. I got something special for you guys. I recently put together a series of quick videos that will absolutely help you create a more effective marketing game plan and marketing content strategy. I cover all of them in great detail. What I call them the laws of attraction marketing. All right. Some of them are obvious. Some of them nobody knows. And so these are the things that every great piece of marketing content has. Some of these laws, like I said, they're very little known, all right, very uncommon. But when they're properly implemented, you will absolutely increase the number of leads and sales that you make from your efforts. So the bottom line is this: if you learn the stuff that I teach you in these videos I recorded, you will be on the path to marketing mastery. And so if you'd like to get your hands on the videos, here's how you do that. Leave a comment below, type the word mastery in all caps, or send it to me in a direct message. I'll get the info out to you. The first video in the series is totally free, no strings attached. If you love it, I'm pretty sure you will. The rest of them, they're so low priced, it's ridiculous if you want to go deeper. But check out the first one. You can probably find enough change in your couch to actually pick up the rest of them. We're not asking a ton of money. And so if you're getting value from these live videos that I'm doing, and you're feeling like you might want a little bit more of me, a little bit more of Justin, then here's your chance. All right, I've got a special gift for you today. And if you're an online marketer at any level, this is a must read. All right, it's a must read. The read time is less than 5 minutes, but here's the gift. It's called 10 Simple Steps to Highly Effective Facebook Lives to help you get more sales and leads. All right, and it's going to help you do just that, help you get more leads and sales from your marketing. So a quick warning about this though: you don't need it if you're already crushing it in your marketing. You don't need it if you're already pulling in leads like crazy. All right, tons of leads, tons of sales. You don't need this. You also probably don't need this if you're like, I'm never creating a piece of content and putting it out to the world ever. Then this won't bring you a lot of value, unless of course you like print it out and it gets really hot at your house. Maybe in the summertime you could print it out and then take like some water and squirt it, and then you could just use this as a fan, and it might make you a little bit cooler. And so if you are somebody, however, who does want to make your marketing videos more effective, then just comment the word mastery below, send me a direct message. Either one works. Just tell me that you're interested in the mastery training. I'll send that over to you. When you do, I'm going to send you this 4-page PDF document. It's got 10 specific steps that when you implement them, it will absolutely increase the effectiveness of your Facebook Lives. No doubt, this can also be applied to written content. All right, so Don't think that you got to just do videos. It also comes with a 20-minute video training that I actually walk through and unpack every single tip in here, all right, just to give you a little bit more value. I opened it up to the last page, so you're like, oh, that's blank. And by the way, this isn't some rehashed content that I went and just, transcribed a YouTube video and I'm reteaching or anything. This is stuff that I've learned through being in the trenches, testing things out for over a decade now. Of marketing on the internet. All right, we had 21 new people reach out to me just yesterday from a video did on talking about makeup tips. And so this stuff works. I could easily sell this and the video that goes along with it for 10 or 20 bucks, and it would be a screaming deal at that price. However, I'm not selling it. I'm giving it away. I'm offering it to you for free right here, right now, and all you got to do is tell me you want it. And so these are the tips that'll transform your marketing. They'll get you better results. And you're going to love tip number 7, by the way. My business partner, Brenda, used this a couple of days ago. She took somebody that reached out to her, pitched her own on their opportunity. She used tip number 7 in here, turned the conversation around. He ended up purchasing one of our products the next morning. And so this stuff works. This stuff absolutely works. If your aim is to generate more leads and sales from the videos that you create, don't even think about doing your next video until you've read through this stuff. All right, it's yours free. All you got to do is reach out to me, let me know that you want them, drop a mastery in the comments, send me a direct message, say I want the mastery training, and I'll get all this stuff over to you. All right, there you go. I hope you have found this valuable. I see Elena, thank you, Danny, Jose, Paul, Robert, I see all you guys here. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Talk to you soon.